Who are we to judge this man? Unfortunately, Anthony Edwards was not blessed to have an active father like some of us. So, how can he understand the value of something that he has never had? Anthony Edwards was primarily raised by his mother and his grandmother. In fact, once his mother and grandmother, who passed away within 8 months of each other when he was a very young man, nobody came to save him. His father really dropped the ball, which explains his feelings toward this situation. You also can't judge the people in the comments who make comments that lead to money being more important than fatherhood, right? Most of those people have never had the blessing of having their fathers in their lives full time. This just kind of reminds me of a Bible story. I'll keep it quick. There was a man walking down a lane, right? His name was Judah. And Judah was tricked by a lady named Tamar into having a baby. Now, it gets a little deeper, right? Because Tamar was actually his daughter-in-law. And her husband had passed away. And as customary rule back then, Judah was supposed to give his younger son, which he promised to Tamar, but he didn't fulfill and didn't really plan on fulfilling at all. And if you know, back then, to have value, she had to have some kind of heir, some kind of child. But she was kind of stuck in limbo. She wasn't supposed to be with nobody else. And her fate was left in Judah's hands. She was just waiting on him to give her his younger son, which he promised and didn't fulfill. So she started to spy on Judah. So she got word that he was coming up the lane. So she put on a veil and disguised herself. Well, he mistook her as something else. And he proposed to her, hey, can you do a little something strange for a little change, right? So she agreed, right? He said, I'll give you a little sheep, a little baby animal or whatever in exchange, but I don't have it right now. Well, Tamar started thinking, okay, well, until you can bring that, give me your signet and give me a couple other things, and I hold on to these till you give me what you promised me, which is the little baby animal or whatever. So he said, cool. So they go wherever, they do whatever, they bam, 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 boom, bam, bam, bam. Well, the next day, Judah tries to fulfill his promise to this woman. So he like, where the lady who be up the lane? And then people was like, ain't no lady that be up the lane. He was like, nah, I promise you. Who the lady be up the lane? I promised to this little animal right here. I got to get it to her. And everybody was like, nobody be up the lane. Like, I know what you're talking about, but ain't nobody like that up the lane. So he kind of just says, okay, well, I try. He forgets about it. Months later, he gets word that his daughter-in-law, Tamar, is pregnant. So he like all this rage. How dare she get pregnant? She can't be with nobody. She's supposed to be with my son. Knowing darn well he promised his son was supposed to be take his son over there, but didn't, right? But he's mad. And back then, it was still considered adultery, even though her original husband had passed away. So if you commit that kind of thing, it's over for you, right? So Tamar has to face her fate. So she is summoned to go where Judah is, and it could potentially be over for her. So she in the middle of everybody looking, and Judah like, you did this, you this person, you nasty, you this, you that. And he said, who is the father? She said, I tell you the father of my child is. I tell you the father of my child is. And she pulled out all the things she held, the signet, all the little stuff he gave her till he was supposed to bring that piece of animal back, right? So as soon as he saw it, he realized this was the lady up the lane. He also realized and kind of came to awareness with himself that I did promise her my son. I didn't fulfill my promise. And immediately he apologized and they made amends, and she was able to go and have her children, etc. Moral of the story is she ended up having twins. And one of those twins is a direct bloodline of Jesus. So without Tamar, without Judah and they mess, we don't get to the blessing of the most important person who walked this earth. Children are blessings. And I pray for his daughter, because out of all of this, she is the only victim. I hope that Anthony Edwards gets some good people around him who are morally stable, people that understand that every child deserves to have their father in their life.